First action of communication is right. What I just did is to prove that Paul Václavic was right. One cannot not communicate. In fact, you saw me sitting on the stage, and you might have thought that I was, I don't know, angry, because I was waiting for you to stop talking. I might have been upset, might have been tired. You might have thought lots of things. And that's when the risk of silence comes into play. My communication was a communication, but was a silent communication, so it could be misunderstood. So that's the reason why we talk about the risk of silence. And in fact, even my slides are silent at the moment because they don't want to follow my commands. So you see the importance of communication, of clear communication, most importantly, because you might have misunderstood what I was thinking. And I was actually only enjoying a first moment of, approaching the stage and starting the day. I was not upset, I was not angry. I was just waiting for you to have your attention to start this date of the TIYES seminars. And if you think about the importance of communication, you understand how communication is at the basis of life on Earth, and especially at the basis of social and mutual life on Earth. In the 17th century, a poet, an English poet, wrote that no man is an island entire of itself. So no man is alone. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. This was his poem. And I particularly like this metaphor because I think I can reflect myself in the metaphor, and you can also reflect in this metaphor too. And in fact, think about this metaphor. No man is an island, because if you try to picture this, if you are stranded on a desert island and you're left there for some time, the first thing, aside from trying to get some food and water, the first thing you start to do is communicating, either to yourself, and if some time passes, you communicate also with something that becomes someone, like Wilson from Castaway. So that's why the longer you stay, the more you need to communicate, because it gets your mind to keep going. And in fact, we communicate from the very beginning of our life. The first thing we do when we're born, we cry. Because, we've just been slapped by a nurse, so it's understandable that we start crying. And we communicate that we are in distress. But we're not completely able to communicate, so that's why we start crying. And in fact, when we grow up, also our communication evolves. Our communication gets better, and we understand how to communicate properly with our peers. Well, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, communication is one of the few things that differentiates us from animals. We are animals, we still are. We are animals that are able to communicate. We are able to make our vocal cords vibrate in such different ways, and with the help of verbal, paraverbal, and non-verbal aspects of communication, in order to convey a specific message, in order to give to that message the nuance we want it to have. And the message I'm trying to convey to you right now is, welcome. Welcome to the second edition of the TIYES seminars here at TUM. I could say welcome back to some of you, because I see some familiar faces, of course, and I'm happy to see that some of you decided to come back. I'm really, really happy, because it means that you enjoyed the first edition. And for those of you who are new, and it's the first time for them, I'm really happy that you decided to wake up early in the morning, come here to university even if you didn't have lessons, and I don't know, maybe some professor obliged you to, but I don't want to know that. And to come here, and I hope you enjoy this morning. When it comes to understand how we created the seminars, Manuel, Eleonora, who's following online, and I could tell you how, but if we want to follow this theory by Simon Sinek, the Golden Circle theory, we should start with a why. Because the idea, the need, the values behind this are most important. If you remember, somebody time ago began a speech saying, "I have a dream." Well, Eleonora, Manuel, and I had a need, basically. We had the need of discovering more. We wanted to know more about the industry we are going to work in. So we decided we needed to be curious and understand more and discover more. And how we did that? Well, we did it by trying to get into contact with the people that work in the industry, and sometimes also the people that don't work in the mainstream companies of the industries. Because, let me be clear, I want to work in hotels, so I appreciate when people from, for example, the Principe di Savoia come to a course to share their lessons. But I also wanted to discover what's behind, what's next, what is innovating the world of tourism, and what else is there. So that's what we did with the 2 previous editions. We tried to bring here to Ulm some people that do something different. And well, it worked well. And so what we did was to try to put them in contact with you as well. We wanted to organize something not just for Eleonora, Manuel, and me. We wanted to organize something for everybody, for all our colleagues at Ulm, for them to be able to discover more of the world of the professional world they're going to enter tomorrow and discover more about it today. And well, of course I'm on this side, so I have to say it went well. But I don't know, I want to be true. I think it went well, and you are the demonstration that it went well the last time. So I'm really happy once again to see you here. The idea with which we conceived the seminars was to have a meeting point for students and young entrepreneurs of the evolving and the innovating tourism industry, where we could originate synergies, we could originate bonds, links. We wanted to make people come together and be able to connect in a pretty informal way without all the really long emails and the formalism of the world of work. We wanted you to be in contact with the people from the professional world of tourism. And that's what we hope it will happen today, as it happened the last time. And we created the ones that I like to call the TIYES synergies. Talking. So I'm talking. Maybe I'm talking too much. I won't be long. I'm talking. As you can see, they were talking to one of the speakers of the last time. We always talk. We always communicate. And the beautiful fact of communication is that every time you communicate with somebody else, you express an idea, but your idea influences the other person. And on the contrary, and vice versa, the other person influences the way you communicate and your idea as well. I noticed this when we created what I call the TIYES seminars. I call them TIYES because I call them the Italian way, TIYES, Tourism Industry Young Entrepreneurship Seminars. Somebody else calls them TIYES, so without the Y. And I like this because ties, aside from the tie, which I particularly like, ties are also the bonds, the links, the connections, the synergies. So I like to see in this very word also the connection with the people, the connection with the audience and speakers. And somebody else pronounces them in a way that looks like a cheerleading club supporting the seminars, which I also like. It's like TIYES, yeah, TIYES, yeah. That's, you see, it's just one word. It can be declined in very different ways, and they all communicate differently. But what, once again, the message I'm trying to convey today, in my way of saying it, TIYES, ties, or whatever, is just to say that I'm sincerely happy that you're here today. I really am. I really am happy that we managed to have a second edition, and I really hope that you enjoy the second edition of your TIYES, ties, or TIYES, as you prefer. Thank you very much. And since new things can be a little bit scary at first, we wanted to start with a familiar face. And this familiar face, some of you probably know her already because she comes oftentimes to a course, HTM course, and sometimes even in the bachelor degree, to talk about what they do at one of the most important and famous, I would say, luxurious hotels in Milan, which is the Hotel Principe di Savoia. So let me welcome on stage Samantha Sarracino.
Hello. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Victor. It's always a little bit strange for me to use this one, but I think I have to, so I promise to use it. And thank you to invite me. I'm very happy to be here today, because now I can say that I have some friends at Yale. And as Victor told before, sometimes I come. Today I met another friend. I met Rebecca at the beginning of this meeting, and we became friends in 2 minutes. But she offered me oil to be more relaxed, and so I can't forget her, never. Why I'm here? Some weeks ago, Victor invited me to talk about the silence. And at the beginning, I didn't understand. And why I talking all the day? I can't stay in silence. Maybe I'm not the right person. But I take 2 minutes to better understand his ideas. And after I completely open my brain, because it was amazing that on this point of your career, so you are students, right? To have someone or the organization that allow you to open your perspective for the future. Because you are studying, you are focused on your journey, like students. But you are studying in order to find a job in the future, some of you. And you are very lucky because you have the time to stop and think to the future with more awareness. It's an amazing job. So at the end, please, thanks to all these guys that organized these days, because it's not so common for the students to have this kind of opportunity. How I can help you in this occasion? Talking about my job. I'm Samantha Sarracino, and I'm working in the Hotel Principe di Savoia in Milano. The Principe di Savoia is part of a big, not very big, small collection, but a very luxury collection that is a Dorchester collection. If you want, you can Google it and find something else. But today, it's maybe the first time that I don't talk about the company, but about my job. First of all, no. Okay. First of all, in order to start, I need to know you a little bit. And the first information that I would like to have is know what's your dream job. Yeah, it's a very difficult moment, but someone take the courage, break the ice. I know that you have it. Just one that start. Good. Yeah. I can introduce you someone that could help you. Thank you. What else? I know that we have to full half an hour, but maybe. It's so difficult. Unbelievable. Manuela, what's your dream job for the future? Sometimes I ask this question also to my GM, because I'm not sure that someone would like to do the same job for the rest of your life. Maybe we would like to change. Rebecca changed. I discovered that it's possible to leave the hotel and to still live. She's still alive. Yeah. Because when you live in an hotel, when you work in an hotel, the risk is to be so absorbed, so involved, that you don't consider that there is life outside. Because the hotel breathes every day, 365 days per year. So it's difficult. You don't have dream in this moment. Okay. At the end of the speech, I ask you again. What's my job? I'm the people and culture manager. And when I introduced myself to Rebecca this morning, she, after 2 minutes, asked me, please, could you repeat your job because I don't understand. Okay. I take care about people. What kind of people? All the people that are involved in this process. Because you can imagine, we are in a hotel, we have 301 rooms. And we would like to offer them the beautiful experience in their life. So we need a lot of people, and we need people that are clearly happy, connected to our vision, our mission, and our values. And it's not too easy, because we are around 300. And I show you just the parallelism between the guest journey and the people journey, just to give you an idea how many people, how many roles there are in an hotel like mine. We tried to be in contact with the guest from the beginning, from the idea of their stay in Milan, because we fight with other competitors, but also we fight with other destinations. So we need to create a relationship with our guests every day from everywhere in the world. And after they decided to book and decided to arrive, we organized their arrival in order to offer them a bespoke experience every time that they come. Because if Rebecca come to the Principe in November, should be for business. I wish you to come. But maybe in December, she would like to come back for holiday. And one time she can come with the friends and sometime with the boyfriend. And it's completely different stay. We have to know, understand, and organize their experience in every single time. It means to be creative, to be informed, to be in contact with the guest, to be aware about their emotions. All these people need to be followed from the beginning of the journey to the end of the journey inside the Principe. For the same parallelism, we have a journey, we draw a journey for people. Because I'm the people and culture manager, so I follow the talent acquisition process in order to identify the right person for this moment, for the specific department, for the specific position, and every time it's not the same. We don't replicate people. It's not possible, because in this moment we need someone that's not can repeat exactly the same experience of the last one. So the journey, the relationship, work in the same way with the guest. We found person, we attract, we try. We knew during the interview. We evaluate also, because there is some soft skills and other hard skills that we need to check during our interview. And when we decided we have the deal with the new person, we start together a journey. Because it's a journey. We need to understand the real needs of the person. As you can imagine, people are completely different. Someone needs something and someone else needs something else. It's very normal. What's the risk of the silence in a company? In your opinion? Another difficult question. Yeah. How I can lose something, someone, something and someone? Because there is someone very Oh my God, che ho combinato?
Went silent.
Yeah. Era andata così bene. No, no, no. Io so che lei è brava. Capisco subito chi può aiutarmi. What's the risk? Ok. Grazie. Sorry. Okay. The risk to lose something or someone. Because there is someone very good to speak, to talk with everyone, like Victor. He had a speech, I was impressed. I'm a facilitator. It's my job. But he did an amazing speech, starting without words, and everyone stopped to talk and saw him. So amazing. But there is someone that doesn't like to speak. It's my responsibility, not only mine, fortunately, to understand and recognize all the way to communicate with people. Someone don't say anything. It's a way to communicate. Sometimes it's more difficult because obviously when someone speaks easily, it's too easy to understand what they need, what they want, what they would like to do, if they are happy or not. Sometimes no. So for these reasons, we create different offers to communicate, different touch points, in order to allow to everyone to express themselves in the best way they can. And when we arrive at the end of our journey, because sometimes, not like me, but people leave the company, it's not like something that we can come back. It's not like in a love relationship. It's just a way to say, okay, it's the time to change, you go to your new experience, but maybe in the future you can come back. Because it's another step to grow outside and maybe in the future come back. In specific, what that I would like to show you is the part of my job focused on training, on L&D, this learning and development, a lot of acronyms. We every day speak just in letter. How an L&D could help people to reduce the risk of silence. This was the task that Victor gave me. I stopped my frenetic day last week, and I thought how to show you in a very few words an L&D role inside a company. And I split it into two parts. The part focused on training, because training is my core business. I can change again job, but training will remain my first love. And obviously, now the training is not only in a meeting room, but we can do training in a very, very creative and different way. Sometimes we spend time in the rooms, obviously. So we organize an induction, so an introduction for the new employee, and could be bespoke, because someone needs something different at the beginning, and could be in group, because we spent 2 days with the new employee trying to give them the possibility to experience the hotel. Have a lunch at the restaurants, met the GM, meet the other leaders, in order to understand the company culture and the company values, and at the same time experience the Principe, because it's quite big, and not everyone knew it. We have a lot of health and safety training, but we are in Italy, and it's normal. There are a lot of hours that we have to spend to be aware about your health and safety. At the same time, we work on both sides of skills, hard skills and soft skills. What do you think? What is easy to exchange with people? Hard skills or soft skills? Is it too difficult for hard skill? It depends on, but if I teach you quickly how to do a good check-in, a perfect checkout, an amazing cappuccino, or to check the room in a very perfect way, it's more difficult for me to teach you to work together, to express your passion, because every one of you has a specific idea of what does it mean passion or what does it mean working together. But in order to be so aligned, in order to offer the same experience to the guest, even if she's at the restaurant or in the spa or everywhere, we needed to be aligned with the same values. And believe me, it's the hardest part, because people interpret it. And I need a balance, because I want that every one of the person that work with me is to be themselves. It needs to maintain their personality. It's the only way to be unique. At the same time, we have to follow some standards. It's not easy, but it's possible, I hope, every day. And if you want to check this, please come to visit me and try to show you. But my function is not complete just with training, and just not considering the training for the departments that the people work, but we need to be open to open our perspective also for the other departments, other hotel, and outside of the job. So we tried to work on cross-functional skills. The other part of my job is about awareness, and it's more bespoke to the single person. I'm a coach. I try to coach people in order to be more aware about their talent, their desire. For these reasons, I come back to you with your job. Also for the limits, because someone could have some limits, but nothing is not possible. The important is to be aware that if you need to learn something, we can find together the way to learning more about it. Yesterday, I had a trial about a training focused on creativity. And the people, it was a trial, so I invited my favorite colleagues in order to try to this new content. And we spent a couple of hours together. At the beginning of the training, half of them told me, I'm here because I'm not creative. I have zero creativity. At the end of the training, we discovered that that's not true, because everyone in a certain way is creative enough to survive in this new life. But sometimes people are not aware about it. The idea is to push people to find a way to express themselves, to be self-confident in their power. So we spend time in internal networking, because knew each other, it's an amazing way to see you with different A's. We organize personal bespoke development program, because could be that someone needs, I don't know, reinforce English skills, for example, or I don't know, time management. Someone needs to better understand how works the departments that could help their job but are not very connected within, for example. And sometimes people need to clarify their goals, Because the risk for the organization is to don't clear communicate the goals. Believe me, we try every day to do it. But sometimes, when you are a lot, when we manage a lot of people, the risk is that all the message don't arrive in the perfect way to everyone. And another axiom of the communication is that the responsibility is a 50-50. The responsibility is not only yours if you don't understand my speech, but it's also mine if I'm not clear to communicate it. And I can have the recipe to communicate in a perfect way, and that's it. I found it, and I can continue in this way. Every day, I have to reinvent my way to communicate in order to reach everyone, and in order to avoid the risk to lose someone. Also, I work a lot for the external networking. It's another way to communicate. Because, for example, today I'm here, I see my friends, because there is a relationship between Principe di Savoia, Dorchester Collection and Ulm, because you are the future. And it's an investment, it's an exchange. I learn from you, and you know something from me. But it's a real exchange. And this kind of friendship allow us to be open to the new generation, to the new needs of people, to the new desire. For these reasons, I give you it's the same question of the beginning. Please, what's your dream job now? It's unbelievable, Manuela, what's happened? Your students don't have dream. Oh, grazie Rebecca, tell me.
Somebody who gives some suggestions to hotel and company to empower women. So I want to do a lot of stuff, really.
Amazing. That's a mess when you have a lot of dreams. Because you have to work on all of that and understand how to combine them. But better to have too much that don't have. So, let's try again. What's your dream job? Just one.
Want to be an event manager?
I understood.
Can you tell?
I saw you. Could be. The idea of Victor for today is to show you all the possibility about tourism, because there is not only the hotels. In tourism is something very, very big. And with Rebecca this morning talked about how is possible to create a new job, for example, also in an organization like mine that it was opened from 1927. It's possible because the needs of the guest today is so different from the past that we have to create a new job in order to answer to their needs. And the needs is something that change continuously, so it means that for today we are working in that day, but we have to be a little bit ready to see for in the future and understand what will be changed very, very soon. So, take your time to understand what's your dream job and be ready for make your choice when you finish your study journey, because you have the possibility now to do everything that you want. Also us, but when you start, sometimes it's more difficult to see the perspective, because you are so absorbed and so focused on that you are doing that it's difficult. You are free to do everything that you want. I wish you a good dream job. Thank you very much.
We have a surprise. Whoops.
Oh.
We have a small surprise. We decided at this time, since we appreciate the fact that you take your time and you devoted to us your time, we wanted to give you this small certificate of appreciation for your contribution here at the TIYES.
You have a good future for like events manager.
Thank you very much. Shall we take a picture?
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Samantha. So, since we are talking about tourism, I would like to talk about something that Milan doesn't have, which is the sea. Because, guys, let's be clear, the Idroscalo doesn't count. It would be an insult for those who have the real sea. But I'm not talking about the normal holiday way of experiencing the sea, but a different way, a tougher, I would say, a tougher and rougher and more difficult way of experiencing the sea, I would say. And I'm not talking about one sea in particular. I'm talking about all the 7 seas, all the oceans, all the seas. And I'm talking about, once again, not the holiday, like going to the beach in whatever ocean it might be, but sailing through the 7 seas. And since I'm not an expert in this, I've never been on a sailboat, I must admit, I've called, and I'm also half of my family comes from Liguria, so they were a little bit obliged to come. So we called to speak 2 speakers, who collaborated in organizing the ocean race, one of the biggest regattas in the world, that for the first time in 2023 arrived in Genova. So let me welcome on stage Raffaella Valenti and Luigi Masnada. Questo qua ce la stai?
Come si va avanti?
Con questo?
Ok.
Ok, occhio agli altri.
Ah, ok.
E questo, volete il gelato o poi?
No, non ce l'ho. Vabbè.
No, devo camminare. Okay, good morning everyone. I'm Raffaella Valenti. I was the event manager of the Ocean Race Genova, the Grand Finale. And I'm proud to be here to tell you about a great job, but a great team from the municipality of Genoa done this year and the previous year. I have to write down my presentation because I want to spend a lot of words about this experience, but I need to stay on time, so I I need to stay to just talk about the few things. So, non va? Dove lo punto? Ecco, ok. The first thing I want to tell you is what is Ocean Race, and I think that the best way is to show you a video. Okay. C'è il volume? Oh, sì. Race is not only one of the most exciting and important sailing race of the world, but it is also a great instrument, a great tool of communication. Through sports, you can catalyze the attention to deliver and value, to inspire change, to call to action, to strengthen the image of a brand or of a company. Sport is a potent means to capture attention, to engage emotion, to build lasting relationship, and to link the value of a sport to the brand or the company. So that's why, this is, okay. That's why this race has been, and has always been, a unique backdrop for doing marketing communication. This is too long to explain. So you can engage public all around the world. This race goes around the world, touching 9 cities, and in every city a race village was built up, and in every city people visited the village race, about 250,000 people in every stopover. So you can get in touch with people directly. But through the onboard reporter, every day, even if the boats were miles and miles away from the coast, the onboard reporter sent images, video to the headquarters, and people could be captured by these emotional images every day. Another way to do communication action is with B2B action. It means that you can do a lot of works with corporate guests, organizing one in a lifetime experience, or special program, or creating an informal business platform in the village, inside the village. A third way of communication, of doing communication action, is with the employee of the company, of the partners involved in the race, because you can create analogies between the race and the world of jobs. I mean, leadership, teamwork, training, and so on. But now we are at the point why the municipality of Genova decided to invest in organizing the ocean race Genova, the Grand Finale, and to be in all the race village around the world. The first reason is because we want to reposition the city brand. Genova is a wonderful city. Not so many people knows this city around the world, so we would like to show how beautiful is this city, but also how many other plus there are in this city. I mean, it is, we had the sea, we had good food, we had a urban growth, so we had school, university, so we decided to promote all these aspects around the world. Genova is the right place not only to visit, but where to live. So, we went around the world, the 9 cities that the race touched, We had a pavilion. It was a sustainability pavilion, so we brought around the world only the pictures, and in every town we rent the structure. So nothing was shipped, only small bags. In this pavilion, we show how beautiful is Genova and how beautiful is Liguria. Not only the sea, but also the inside, the culture, the history, and we promote all the excellence. It has been important because we met a local community, local institutions such as chambers of tourism, chambers of commerce, and we promote meetings with our business institution. The second reason was to create awareness and pride among the citizens that hosting such an important event in Genoa was something to be proud. We organized events for the previous 2 years to inform and to present this opportunity for Genova. So we did everything in town. Every occasion, every opportunity was right to inform, to present, to this race, and also we had the opportunity to involve the city and talk about the journey that Genoa was doing around the world in the month before the arriving of the grand finale. So the grand finale arrived, and it has been a very big opportunity, not only for Genova but also for Italy, because it was the first time that the most important race arrived in Italy. We built up a village. The name of the village was Ocean Life Park, to underline that it was a village where you could do experience. You can touch the ocean. You can do things. You can have immersive experience. You can have fun, but also you can learn about how to save the ocean. The grand finale is the arrival of a very long race. It takes 6 months, and the teams were excited to meet their families after a long period, and so we had a lot of celebration, and we also had a lot of fun. But it is important to remember that an event like this leaves to Genova an important legacy, because through the learning program we focused on the way of save the ocean, how we can act to save the ocean, which are the behaviors to respect the ocean. And we involved school, young people, but all the citizens of Genoa. And also we had an innovation village inside the Ocean Life Park to show how many technology there is linked to the blue economy, and a kind of economy that is growing in Genoa. This is another way of communicate because just a month before the start of the race, we had the opportunity of customized a boat with the name of Genova. So we had another way to increase our visibility around the world, and I want to show you another video. An event like this, an investment like this, will collect, would gather their fruits in the future. They say, we can say it is a long wave that will run over Genova in the future. But we can analyze already what happens on the web. We did a research looking for all the news with the word Genova and the grand finale and the ocean race to understand how was important, how has been important for Genova to organize this race from the communication point of view. So the numbers are very interesting because in America, just only on the web, in America we had 135 million of contact with the average of 3 news. And you see in Europe 578 million, 1 million in Africa, and 3 million in 44 million in Asia. So this is very significant because one of the of our aim, of our goal are reached. I mean, the words of Genova, the name of the city of Genova has reached a large public around the world. But the most important legacy for Genova, but also for the whole world, is Genova process. Genova process is a journey that has begun in Genova in March 2022. And this path was made by several workshops with several international experts. And this path took us to, together with Ocean Race, not only Genova, but the organization also, to the United Nations the last September. And this path was arrived to present a guide for a new relationship with the ocean and to outline the principle on which the ocean right should be written. So now I give the word.
Okay. Good morning. Okay. Good morning. Sorry, I really need to read. I'm Luigi, and I'm working for the sport department of the municipality of Genova, which has organized both of the Ocean Race Europe in 2021, and in this year the Ocean Race Genova, the Grand Finale. Now I'm working like a coordinator of Genova 2024, the European Capital of Sports. My colleague Raffaella has already explained to you the importance of the regatta, but I would like to add two other important things. Because, first of all, we will talk about strengths and weaknesses of the management of such event throughout the public administration, because the municipality for the Ocean Race Genova the Grand Finale chose to develop the event by itself and not relying to a general contractor. So this creates many difficulties for the inherent activities of the public administration. Among these, there are difficulties to find an expert in the field of mega sport events. Why? Because of our traditional public competition are used to be too generic. Other limitations are lack of awareness about the role of the public administration and the lack of flexibility. And finally, the city, the municipality, use resources that are under control of the public opinion. So it's necessary to pay particular attention on expenses. But however, managing an event through the public administration can also have strengths, as you can see on the left. There are the large human resource. Our municipality, Genoa, has around 5,000 employees. A strong collaboration with our subsidiaries company or maybe the other institution of our country. And finally, the easy use of a public space in the city. So, considering that the city of Genoa participates not only as a final stopover of the regatta, but also with a dedicated pavilion in the other stopover city, like Newport, Itajaí, The Hague. So we found a great difficulties to contract with the foreign suppliers. For example, the foreign suppliers are not used to have the certified electronic mail. In Italy, we have the PEC, but these don't exist in other countries. Yes, in Europe, yes, but not, for example, in the United States or in Brazil or in South Africa. But as you can see from the image, our difficulties become a success, like Raffaella says before. Okay, this was the past, was what we did the last 3 years. But I want to talk to you about a little bit about the future of tourism and sports in Genova, because as you can imagine, the municipality has decided many years ago to take advantage of sports events as a leverage for tourism in our city. And it's in this context, the next year Genova will be the Genova 2024, the European capital of sports. For the next year, we are waiting for more or less than 50 events, both popular and for restricted to a smaller public, as well as more than 10, 15 disciplines for in all the year. And that will bring thousands of athletes for each event, production direct and indirect effects through the hosting of staff, sports, people, and funds. So take to you for your attention, and we wait in the next year in Genova.
Of course, we've got a couple of certificates for you as well. One is for you, Raffaella. Thank you very much for coming all the way from Genova this morning. I hope I took the train to Bordighera oftentimes, and I know it's always late, so I hope it wasn't that late, the train you took this morning. Luigi, this is for you. Thank you very much. If we just take a picture all together, may I? And here we go. Thank you very much once again. Now, I'm particularly happy to introduce the next speaker of the day, because she is the living example of one of the TIYES synergies I was talking about before. When I met Rebecca the first time, we met during the Sensory Academy Management that was held and created by Sara Abdelmazi, who was a speaker at the first edition of the TIYES seminars. And this was the first reason why I'm really happy to have Rebecca here. The second reason is that you're going to see the wonderful energy that she has. So I want, magari no, maybe not. But, well, I experienced it the first time and I really liked it. So let me welcome on stage Rebecca Broad.
First of all, I put down everything that I have. Okay. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank you for being here, and my friends, my colleagues, my sister, and also Victor that gave me these special opportunities. As he said, we met at the SEME Academy of Sara Abdelmazi, and he asked me today of being here to tell you the risk that I had to take in my life and in my previous adventure at Woodhouse Hotel. And I am here, and I am the change that I want to see in the world. E non so usare questo. Okay. Welcome at Woodhouse Hotel. This is a small hotel seated in Cinisello Balsamo in the northeast of Milan. It's an industrial area, and behind the hotel you can see the Buffy factory. There are some over there, the buildings over there, and you choose to stay in our hotel, and we are very, very happy that you choose us. So, everybody, you can enjoy two special things in our hotel. Some candies that Rachele, Celine, and Marco will give it to you. And while I register your documents, and you can have the experience of our perfume, the perfume that you can smell when you enter in the hotel, Those are just some. Please give to everybody. Okay, prego. Prego. Ok, prego, passatevela. And also to you. Okay, you can give it to also to everybody else. Okay. Now that I have registered your documents, I will take you to your home, to your room. Okay, here you can get some snacks and drinks, and also you have a map of the restaurants and the activities in Cinisello Balsamo that you can enjoy. And also there are some bins for the waste collections. Please help us to keep our planet clean. Here you can have a short idea of our story, because on this panel you can read when we started with this adventure. And we came up with Woodhouse Hotel in 2015, when we did this partnership with Boffy Factory that is close to us and produces the bobbins and the wooden reels and the pallets that we use to furnish the hotel. If you have more questions and you would like to know more about our project, do not hesitate to come to the front office and ask for more info. On the right side, you can see a picture of the interiors of the factory where the bobbins and the pallets come from. At the end of the corridor is your room. It's the double room, room number 3. And welcome to your room. Here you can see the headbed, the armchair, and the bobbins for the tables that we reuse and we recycle, and we produce those materials with some students from Evolvo, that is an agency, and they come to do Erasmus Plus experience. So I train personally all the students, and since we opened the hotel, I train 120 students from different parts of Europe. And here is the result of our special experience with the students. But going back, how we came up with the idea of Woodhouse Hotel. I got my double degree in urban planning, so I did not study in the hotellerie sector. This is very important to tell you. And I got my double degree between Tongji University in Shanghai, where I lived for 9 months, and the Politecnico di Milano. I've been a designer for different years, several years, in a family studio for 7 years. And after my Chinese experience, I was so impressed. It was so strong. It gave me so big emotions, important emotions, that I started to do voluntary work for the Chinese children in Chinatown in Milan. Do you know this neighborhood? Yeah, some of you knows about it. Then I've been an intercultural guide for Migrant Tour, and I was taking tourists and people living in Milan to get to know this neighborhood, this special, special atmosphere. It's like to be somewhere else. And then I co-founded Shot House, in which me and my ex-Chinese boyfriend, CSG, were doing some activities with university students, Chinese students, close to Milan. We were taking them to ride horses, and we were playing laser tag, and we were doing a lot of stuff in order to let them integrate with our culture. Sorry, sometimes the emotion. And then I founded Woodhouse Hotel with CSG, as I told you, in 2015. So here is questa è la presentazione vecchia, Victor. So whatever, I will not be mad at you. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, me and Sidier came up with the idea in 2014-15, anyway, because we wanted to help students like us, students that have been abroad and didn't have a place where to feel at home, okay? And where to learn and where to find a help. So that's why we did Shot House, to study our target in order to be ready to fulfill their needs. I personally followed the construction site. This was a risky game, okay? It was not easy, not for Buffy, the property owners, because the building was of Buffy, and not even for us. We were just 25 years old students. We just finished our studies, me, and CJ was still studying at university, and we had no experience at all in the hospitality sector. But then we had this vision very strong. We wanted to help other people. I personally followed the construction site, and it was very, very exciting. It was my first time that I drew walls, and then I was following the workers. And then we opened to the public at December 2015 on booking, and we were ready to host our guests. In 2016, as I told you previously, I started a relationship, partnership with Evolvo, the agency, and students came to do training with us. But then, what really worked is that this golden circle that Victor showed you previously about Simon Sinek, it was really, really strong. We had a strong why. We wanted to be a bridge between China and Italy. We wanted to help students to integrate in our culture and not have just an island, but be frequently exposed to our culture. That's why we created a familiar environment. We wanted them to feel, to be relaxed and meet other people daily, on a daily basis. That's why we develop work in educational and recreational activity. We were doing ravioli, so dumplings together. We were having also lots of different events. And what to do? But we managed this hotel that it was a mixture, okay? It was hotel on our side and a house for students on the other side. So the students could help us working at the front office, creating the events, and they could meet guests coming from different parts of the world. But then, here there should be a slide that it was black, to scare you. But then what happened? CGE dumped us, dumped the project, dumped me. It was a risky decision. Should I go ahead alone in this thing? Should I be ready? Am I ready to do it? Am I capable to do it? We started together with a lot of love, a lot of power, a lot of energy. I was alone. We have this big, beautiful project. And then I decided to take the risk. Because risk, for me, it's better than not doing anything at all. And I went ahead. But I went ahead creating partnership. I could not go ahead alone. And I started to connect with some realities in the territory around me, because I'm an urban planner. So I took everything that I was. So my resources was it's inside of me, part of me. I'm an urban planner. I'm a hotel manager. I'm a lot of stuff. And I wanted to give power to all my aspects. That's why also I came up with a partnership with Repower that provided us renewable energies. I came up with some lectures at Legambiente. I had a good relationship with Ciclofficina, that it's a place where you can repair your bicycles, and they help us and they teach you how to do it. So you do it, but you do it with them. And I created in May 2022 Alveare di Cinisello Balsamo. That is like a GAS, like a group to buy food, 0 kilometer products. So I had to start again. I had to recreate my own, my personal golden circle. And then my why, it was there, it was the same, it was to change the world, because also with CSG we wanted to change the world. But then I came up and I stressed the fact that I wanted to change it, taking attention to the environmental and the sustainability aspects, okay? So that's why it was already furnished with recycled materials, but then the whole hotel started to be full of furnished beds and etc. So I stressed out everything. And then I involved gases in small and concrete actions for the environment. As I told you before, the partnerships were really important, and the events were focusing on bicycles, reuse, and environment. And I created job opportunities for people with a focus on cycling or 0 kilometer products, as Marco, that is here with us today, or Elisabetta. So what I've done also, I changed colors, because I changed, something changed. And so we studied a target, and we came up with this idea about the forest, that it was already there in our name, Wood House. And so we started to paint the bedrooms in green and blue and red as some pines in the forest, in order to be coherent and shows people that there was a strong connections between all the aspects of this idea. The factory, the interiors, and the message should come to you, should go direct to our guests. Here are other studies, and this is the most iconic work in Woodhouse Hotel. This wooden world map has been done by me with some Erasmus Plus students, with all the leftovers of the productions of the Buffy factory. It's a puzzle that speaks about us and this idea about changing the world. Why this motto? It is so strong, because it stops us from judging others. It replaces complaining about others, and it stirs us into taking actions, because the only power that we have is on us, not on the others. We can do something with others, but we need to start. I told you I was not alone. There were allies with me, the students. This is the map before the wooden pieces. And how to communicate and how to do this not alone. I needed a community. That's why we created with students the Woodhouse School, because 120 students are a lot of people. And they were taking care of the Instagram page of Woodhouse School. Then I came up with the ideas of Alveare di Cini, and we have more than 700 people that are that not buy but reads the newsletter, and some people that every week comes to buy their food. These activities let me fulfill some goals of the Sustainable Development Agenda, European agenda. And how do you know that what you're doing is good? How do I know that what I'm doing is really, really reaching the goals that I did, that my message was not just there? Reviews, people's feedbacks. My work is nothing if it's not for somebody else, if it doesn't really reach the people, you. You are my target, not just my guests, students, people that I meet, friends. We are all one thing. And they were telling me that I was doing good because they wrote about the eco-friendly hotel. They wrote about the wooden rails around the hotel. But what happened? Do you know this motto, chi non risica non rosica? In English is no pain, no gain. So, when I told you about the risk, that I see opportunities instead of threat, it's because in my life, I had to take the risk many, many times. This is the timeline of my life. I just selected some stuff that happened in my life. And then I was born in 1989, so I'm 34 years old. When I started Woodhouse, I was 25 years old, and I managed Woodhouse Hotel for 8 years. At 5 years old, my parents separated. And from the night and the day, I was taken away from my family home. I was moved away, and everything changed for me. New people, new school, new city, everything new. Nothing to be happy about, seriously. But then I had to be positive. There was a sister with me. We had to carry on. We have to move on. New things would happen. New and special good things happen. Risk didn't stop. And my approach, my trend of looking at risk didn't stop, didn't change. In September 2008, the environment back home was not very nice. And I had to choose, should I stay here or should I leave? Should I stay or should I go? You know this music? Then I left. I left and I had no money. I had money just for 2 months. I got to rent a flat close to the University of Politecnico di Milano in a basement, close to the garbage room, with a view on the walk, on the sidewalk. Yeah, very special place. And I had money just for the 2 first months. But I got 3 jobs. And I never stopped to think that I had to continue to study and nurture myself with culture and good activities. Because when you invest on yourself, it's never a bad choice. It's always a good choice. Do not lose yourself. Other stuff happened in the time, but then you can see that I really was able, every time that something bad or not very happy happened, like when CGL left Woodhouse in 2017, I started a theater course. And I always nurture myself with culture. And I did a tutor in a course of master, in a master in hotellerie management at Sole 24 Ore. Or I did the SEM Academy with Victor and other students with Sarah Abdelmazih. And then what happened? As I told you, no pain, no gain. I changed everything. Here you can see that in April 2023, although I loved my work and this beautiful adventure of Woodhouse Hotel, I left it. I sold it to a company that it can keep it and let it grow. And then I changed. I left and I did the Via Francigena, just a short piece, because I started, then I got injured, then the physiotherapist told me, you cannot reach Rome. And then I said, no, I will. So anyway, I was like this at the beginning, but then I made it. And I reached Rome with 36 kilometers the last day, from Campagnano di Roma to Rome. And I was so, so happy to meet myself and know myself, because it's in that occasions that you really know who you are. There was ice rain. I don't know in English how to say, but anyway, it was a storm. Grandine. Ice storm. And then it was so strong, and then people were scared as me. I was in the countryside, nobody there. And then I saw a signal, just 1 kilometer to the next city. And I said, okay, I could die here or take the risk and go ahead. Then I choose to take the risk. And then I met other pilgrims, and I host them in the bed and breakfast that I booked. And we were all together sharing this experience. And when I met them under a tree, shaking because it was so cold, I was not complaining or doing anything. I just said, like I was taking drugs or something like that, whatever. I said, oh, just 1 kilometer, let's go, guys. And they were motivated, and they came with me. Now there are some tools that were helpful for me. So I would like you to take pictures about the next slides, because those are just some instruments, some stuff that I found on my path that were helping me. So this is the wheel of life. You have to think that your work is just an aspect of your life, okay? This is not something easy to understand. Not easy, as Samantha said before, when you are an hotel manager and you live in your hotel. Every day you are in that machine and you do not think that there's something out of it, but there is. And many times what is out of it, it's more important or equally than what is inside your job. So please nurture all the aspects of your life. They can teach you a lot. This wheel works just if you have a balance between the different aspects. It's not important that if you are successful in your life career, in your work career, because if you forget your children at school, if you do not walk the dog, if you do not shop and take food, then it doesn't work. This is another technique, the 101 wishes. As Samantha asked you before, which is your dream job? You couldn't reply. Oh, that's a loss. That's really making me mad. I have a lot of dreams. But I had to get used to wish, because you forget to wish. You do not remember that you are creative, that you want to do a lot of stuff, because you are keeping doing the same stuff every day. So find yourself. And this list will really surprise you. Surprise yourself, because it's difficult. You do one when you have the candles in front of you at your birthday party, but two? Oh gosh, 2 is difficult. 3, it's difficult. Reaching 100, I never reach 100 of wishes. And then yoga, yeah, now it can sound weird though, but this it really changed my life. I'm practicing yoga Ashtanga Vinyasa since 2021, and it helped me. It helped me because it tells you that you do not have just to take action, but also to relax. It's important that you balance the 2 aspects. And also, it tells you that we always focus on the flowers. If you want a flower in our garden, we always think about the roses, the margarita, but we do not think about the soil. we have to think about the soil. We have to nurture the soil. We have to spend more time to nurture the soil than the time with the flower that comes out. So please, pay attention to that part. Nurture your soil. Give good ingredients to this soil. Now, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I tried. Start your journey. Change your life a step at a time. Grazie. E ce l'abbiamo fatta con le slide sbagliate, adesso ti picchio. Okay.
Will you still accept the certificate?
Oh
or?
sì, assolutamente, con la fatica che ho fatto.
And this is for you for the second time. Well, the other time when we met at the Sensory Academy of Management, I got the certificate for the sensory. I'm happy to give it to you so that
Grazie,
the cycle
Victor.
goes on.
I'm very
Take a picture.
happy. Yes.
So while I help Rebecca packing the bags, the luggage, once again. At the end, okay, at the end. Well, now it's time for a little break. I would say, I see the relief. I would say 10 minutes. Be back by 10 past 11, please. Okay, and then we'll go on with the second part of the day. Okay, please come back all. Would be lovely. We have candies. wanted to catch your attention. We're back, and for those of you who decided to come back, I'm happy to see you back. For the ones who left, well, next time. We'll do a shorter one next time. So, talking about time, the time has come. And I say the time has come because the first time I got in contact with the next speaker was exactly 1 year ago. It was October 2022. And this gives you a hint on how much it takes, or how much time it takes to organize these seminars. But I thank the next speaker, I thank her every time we talk, because she has a really busy agenda. And in fact, we didn't manage, because we didn't have a clear date for the first edition at the beginning, so we didn't manage to make her come, to check the agendas and make them and take them together. So it was a little bit difficult at first, but then I'm really happy because she was really committed, she is really committed to this project, to these seminars, and she also gave us some very good recommendations for the seminars. And so now the time has come. We finally managed to have her here, so I'm really, really pleased and happy to welcome on stage Erika Fenicol. The stage is yours.
Ok, buongiorno, good morning. Nunquam audendi metuere, never be afraid to dare. This is my life motto, which I live by every day. I've taken on this motto and use it to make decisions, choices, and it truly guides my each and every move. Not living by this motto for me would mean not living. I stand before you today as Erika Fenicol, brand journalist and founder and CEO of EFN Communication. But if I had not followed this motto, I would not be where I am today. But daring is intimidating. It's so much more comfortable to go through life being passive, sticking to the familiar, making little to no effort, staying in our comfort zone. However, by doing so, we allow external influences to shape our lives. Why is daring so intimidating? I want you to really take a moment to reflect on this question. Think about a time in your life when you wanted something. Maybe you had an opportunity that you were questioning, but you felt scared. Think about this moment. Why were you scared? What were you afraid of? How many of you are familiar with the expression carpe diem? I'm guessing most of you are. But for those who are not, carpe diem is a founding concept of Epicurean philosophy and means seize the moment. It reminds us to enjoy life moment by moment and to seek happiness without thinking too much about what will happen next. So now I want you to ask yourself, what makes you happy? Once you have answered in your head, consider how often you are following this. Are you following what makes you happy? Once you have an answer in your head, consider how often you are following this. Are you following what makes you happy? I have come to realize that not following what makes you happy is my greatest form of self-sabotage, so I always follow my answer. You may not know about this, but there are many different forms of self-sabotage. You must identify the one you enact most frequently. Although it may sound absurd, when we sabotage ourselves, we are doing it for a reason that, in the moment, satisfies specific needs in our brains. But if we can learn to identify and understand them, we can actually neutralize them. Understanding our fears and acting against them takes practice, hard work, and planning. We must decide how we are going to act against our fears each time they arise. I'm not sure how much you already know about me, so it may or may not come as a surprise to you, but I'm actually a shy person by nature, and I'm still building my self-esteem and confidence. I'm still getting to know myself and getting in touch with who I am at my core. But I know one thing is for sure. I have to follow my heart, and so I do. I'm going to take you back to 2009, when I was in university, so you can understand my journey from where you are now. Throughout my life so far, I have worn many different hats. I have tried things, failed, lost interest, learned, grown, and constantly developed. So let's begin with Erika Feinicol as a student. When I was in your position, I wanted to be a diplomat. So I went to study international relations at one of the most important schools for diplomacy in Italy, the University of International Diplomatic Sciences in Gorizia. My dream was to tell the world of the Italian excellence, to teach others about Italian culture, and to speak about Italy. My second year at university, I was selected for a trip to Moscow, where I got to meet the Italian ambassador and attend parties and gatherings with diplomats and highly educated people from all over the world. It was such an incredible experience. But it also made me realize that my language skills were not the best, so I decided to do an Erasmus in Belgium. It was my first long-term experience abroad, and I really enjoyed the opportunity to meet such interesting people, each with their own unique story to tell. I spent a lot of time in Brussels and met many people that work for international organizations, which led me to enroll in a master's program in international organizations, peace and conflict, in the political science department at ULB. The first week of the program, I felt completely lost. I could tell my education and my study techniques were far below my fellow classmates, and I couldn't help but compare myself. I thought I couldn't do it, but I decided to give it my best shot. It was the first time in my life that I felt like my classmates and I were on the same team. Instead of competing with each other, we worked together. We collaborated, we shared common goals, and supported each other. The professors were amazing, and I found the classes so interesting, but I felt that I was moving forward blindly. I started to question if being a diplomat was still my dream job. My confidence about the future started to crumble, and I got to all too familiar feeling that I'm sure many of you also had at some point or another. What am I doing with my life? If you have not had this sensation yet, it's very likely that at some point in your life you will. When it comes, just remember that it's not a sign of failure, but rather an emblem of success, as it means you are getting to know yourself more. Of course, at the time, I didn't see it that way. But since I couldn't find answers externally, I had to look deeper within. I knew that I was intrigued by communication, events, and journalism, but I wasn't ready to give up on international relations, so I thought maybe I just needed to stray from the political side of things. I graduated, returned to Italy, and began a second master's program in media relations in SIOI. I got an internship at the Italian embassy at the United Nations in Rome, which was an incredible experience. One day, I even had the chance to substitute for the ambassador in the General Assembly. Surrounded by the heads of state from all over the world, I felt so nervous, and all I could think was, if I say the wrong thing, I could start a world war. But even with these extraordinary opportunities, I didn't feel satisfied. I could tell something was missing, and I was still collecting pieces of understanding what I liked and disliked, and learning what I truly wanted. I knew that I loved interviewing people, My thesis was about people, and all of my favorite parts of the program and internship revolved around people. But the master was coming to an end, and I still didn't know where it was leading me. I decided that my next step would be working at the United Nations in New York City. So I began to applying to all different kinds of roles within all different departments. I hadn't heard back from any of them, but I was so sure of myself that I convinced my mom to take me to New York, so we could see the place that would be my future home. But after a while, back in my hometown, with no news, no job offers, and no idea what I was doing, I started to feel discouraged and confused, like I had failed. On August 16th, my birthday, I received the best birthday gift ever. I would start working at the UN headquarters in New York in just 1 month. Arriving in New York City, I was alone, with no apartment, and I realized that I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I knew I would be working at the Department of Public Information, but that's about it. I was scared, but I knew 2 things were certain. I was going to live in New York, and I was going to work at the United Nations, and this was enough for me. After my induction, they explained that our job was to convey information and news about the UN to the rest of the world through different media. And I quickly realized that we were actually providing very useful information to an audience of people who genuinely wanted to learn about it. And to me, this was incredible. My supervisor taught me everything she knew, without any sense of animosity and negativity. Similar to how I felt during my master's in Belgium, I was pleasantly surprised by how supportive people were, working together and helping each other, whereas in Italy, I often felt people wanted to compete instead of lifting each other up. I had the opportunity to attend the General Assembly, where I found myself walking next to Barack Obama and Ban Ki-moon, who at the time was the Secretary General of the UN. We became friends, and he was also supportive. We even took photos together, and I didn't like the way they turned out, so we went back and redid them. I found a close group of friends living in New York City, and I felt like it was the first time I had a tight-knit social circle of fellow independent women that wanted to support each other. I was surrounded by confident women that believed in themselves and also in each other, which was so beautiful. While working at the UN, I realized that people outside of the UN really had no idea what we were doing. So I decided to start a project where I would conduct video interviews with different colleagues to teach people about what was really going on in our newsroom. Every day, I was following people around the UN with my iPhone and tripod. And to this day, various departments in the UN still carry on this project. Looking back now, I can see that I was doing brand journalism but I didn't even know it. I had accomplished my dream, living in New York City, working at the UN, with an incredible social circle and a great life. Yet somehow, I knew it wasn't right for me. I knew there had to be more than the strict office life of ours set by others, and internal hierarchy. So I decided to live what I thought was my dream life, and return back to my hometown in Italy with no idea what I was doing next. One of my favorite quotes is by Robin Williams. You are only given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it. So despite everyone in my life telling me I was crazy for living my dream life, I knew I wanted to start something on my own. So I returned to Italy. When I got settled back in Italy, I realized that I actually had no idea what I wanted to do. After living this exciting life in New York City, I felt bored back in Italy. I missed the friends I made and felt confused about what I really wanted in life. I started to question if I even had any real talents. It felt like everyone else knew what they wanted to be and had clear talents for something. But I now felt so lost, thinking, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a lawyer, a dancer, a musician, a teacher. So where is my place in the world? What do I want to do with my life? Maybe some of you have felt like this before, or maybe some of you even have this feeling right now. If you ever feel like this, I want you to know that you are not alone. And this feeling is a beautiful storm brewing inside you, preparing you for the incredible places that life will take you in the future. I am convinced that nothing in life happens by chance. We always have all the answers within us, gently nudging us through intuitions, instincts, and impulses. We just have to learn to look inwards instead of looking outwards. So I looked within and decided to create a website where I could share my passions and knowledge with the rest of the world by conducting and posting video interviews about my area in Italy, hospitality, food and wine. Fall for Refugee was born, and once again, I was doing brand journalism without knowing it. I loved this work, but I knew dreams wouldn't pay the bills. So I decided to get a job at a marketing and communication company, where I was going to take care of blog articles. But after 2 weeks, I decided to quit, and was back to no job, but a lot of dreams. Here you can see my first interview, which was made with my iPhone and my mom's help. I had gone from walking alongside Obama and Ban Ki-moon in New York City to using my iPhone to interview a saffron farmer with my mom in my hometown. But I was happy because I had an idea, a project, a support from my mom. The problem started to arise when I tried to grow my project and came to face with reality when nobody else understood what I wanted to do. I contacted magazines and brands asking to do collaborations, but nobody was interested because they didn't understand. Finally, I was offered a position at a magazine writing articles for a column dedicated to wine. Erika's Gems was born and would allow me to become a freelance journalist in 24 months. A few months later, I was asked to make a TV program about cooking. I had the contacts, the idea, and I knew how to interview and host. We created a beautiful TV program in collaboration with the Espresso Guides, which are now under Forbes. It included starred chefs, important local companies and wineries, and aired on TV every Sunday at lunchtime. As the TV show came to a close, I was briefly met again with a vicious cycle of questioning my worth and my life is not a straight, and when you are young, these moments can feel like the end of the world. But there is no problem that cannot be faced. Looking back, I can see that at the time, I was linking my happiness with external goals, like success and money. I really needed to get to know myself in order to learn how to link happiness to my own internal motivations, feelings, and gratitude. I started a Stanislavski method theater course in Rome. I wanted to work on myself, get to know myself, and find the answers that were missing. And this class gave me that opportunity. I learned about meditation, controlled breathing, and the importance of knowing yourself. The course lit a fire within me to dig deeper and explore the wonderful world we have inside. I learned how to replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts and discovered how unique and valuable each of our perspectives really are. It's like each of us are sitting on the same train, all looking at the same view, but from different perspectives. Apart from the immutable principles of existence, We all live by different rules and truth, based on different beliefs, either instilled in us or created by us. We decide when and where to get off the train. Without ourselves, there is no life. There is only an inner potential begging to take on meaning, form and purpose, begging to be lived as you wish. Living is a verb that implies action. Life is waiting for you to take action, to exercise your free will, to choose your path, to live life as you have always wanted to live it. And so, if life is a black canvas ready to be painted, then it doesn't matter if I don't have a clear talent, but rather feel that I have a multitude of talents within me, just waiting to be expressed. If my path has never been traveled by others before me, it means I can do anything I set my mind to, putting myself out there without fear, building a path for myself that makes me happy. I realized that I had to start somewhere, and perfect doesn't exist. In March 2020, I decided that I would open some sort of communication agency. I wanted to be a journalist for brands, but I was immediately hit by the first obstacle. According to Article 2 of Law 69, 1963, no journalist should trade their insight into reality for the sale of a product or a service. Their job is to report, not to sell. It's to be a journalist, not a salesman. Once again, nobody understood what I wanted to do, or that it had nothing to do with selling. I wanted to tell the stories of brands, but it was prohibited by law. But I have always been convinced that freedom is a choice that falls within the sphere of personal ethics, and I rarely take no for an answer. So I opened my company, and 1 week later, the world was hit by a global pandemic. Amazing time, right? During my time stuck at home, I continued to research my interests, and I slowly began to realize what I wanted my company to be about. Yes, I'm actually saying that I opened a company without knowing what I wanted it to be about. I wanted to combine hospitality and lifestyle with journalism and brand communication, and I also knew I wanted to support people and companies. It was obvious to me that my work should be reputable as a respected source of information, able to gain the trust of the public. My idea was based around the idea that companies and brands should become authors and convey their exclusive content through their own platform. It was strange because I didn't know how to describe my job or title to others. I didn't know what I was, but I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to provide information on behalf of and or for the benefit of brands, but not in the same way as the marketing team, not advertising products or services. I knew that I wanted to use storytelling, be useful to the whole community, and possess the responsibilities of a journalist, but this job did not yet exist, to my knowledge. I began to get excited because I thought I had invented something new that also happened to be perfect for me. I started to do research and discovered that I was wrong. This amazing new field actually had a name, and it's brand journalism. Although I was not the one to invent it, it still felt good to know it exists, and I could actually learn from others already in the field and bring it directly to the hospitality industry, as previously it was only for big multinational companies and not at all in hospitality. On other occasions, I would love to dedicate a whole session on brand journalism, but for today, for those of you that don't know, brand journalism is somewhere in between classic journalism and marketing. It allows brands to leverage content and storytelling with the goal of telling the story of the world that revolves around the brand, without self-referentiality and in a spirit of service, becoming a reliable source of information for the audience. This not only increases engagement and awareness, but most importantly, it instills trust in the public, which is the most valuable asset a brand can gain. My path as a brand journalist finally became clear to me, and EFN Communication was born. EFN Communication is a company specialized in brand journalism in the hospitality and lifestyle sectors. The team is composed of creative experts with extensive experience in strategic consultancy, intercultural communication, brand journalism, marketing, social media, and more. At EFN Communication, we believe that successful stories of brands can change the way in which we perceive our world. They push us out of our comfort zone and convince us to act, to collaborate with people, to take action and to lead the change. Stories give us something to believe in. Our work and philosophy is based on human relationships, on listening to the needs of the people who come to us, and on the desire to convey to others the authentic identity and values of the brands we collaborate with. Helping brands tell their stories through brand journalism is what we believe in and on which we can give our best advice. Our services, which we call EFN signatures, cover a huge variety of areas, from brand journalism and editorial content to video interviews and brand magazines, also covering strategic consultancy and language interpretations for business negotiations and more. I like to think of myself and my company as a twins, growing up together. My advice for you today is to follow your dreams, take risks, and believe in yourself, even if other people don't. I've always envisioned my company as a greenhouse of talent, where people from all over the world blossom while sharing goals and values. If I like a person, I start working with them. I start by giving them a wide variety of tasks and involving them in all different kinds of projects. I want to see what they are passionate about, what they do naturally, and what brings out that inner spark. I can always teach them new things, and I always make my knowledge available. Everyone brings different things to the table, and that's the beauty of it. One thing we all have in common is the ability and willingness to speak our minds. There is a continuous exchange of opinions, freedom of expression, and plenty of room for creativity to flourish. I believe that we must be grateful for the present, but with hope and visions for the future. And my vision for EFN Communication is clear. We will become one of the leading brand journalism, media, and communication companies, and our impact will be unprecedented. We will continue to enrich the lives of others, and our team will continue to grow across the globe. If you take one thing away from this session, let it be this. Getting to know yourself is the key to everything. Spend time with yourself and look within when you are searching for answers outside. It may be scary at first. Maybe you don't know how to start. You can lie to everyone, but you cannot lie to yourself. Don't be afraid to change your mind, change your dreams, change your passions. Life is not black and white. It is a constantly changing process, and the only way to succeed and find your true happiness is by flowing with it. Discovering yourself over and over again, and continuing to allow yourself to grow and mold with who you are and who you are becoming every day. Tomorrow will not be the same as you are today, and that's beautiful. Never be afraid to dare. Grazie Alessandra.
I think you had a little spoiler of this,
Yeah.
but we would like to present you also this certificate that we managed to elaborate and create. And I'm really, really happy that after 1 year, we managed
We got it.
to get to this. Thank you very much, Erika, once again.
Grazie,
Do this.
Victor.
Can we take a picture?
Yeah, of course. Grazie. Grazie a tutti. Thank you to everyone. This is mine.
I'm happy to see that Erika, that as I said, she has a really busy agenda, and she came here a little later during the break because she managed to come here. And if I'm not mistaken, if you have to leave sooner, I just want to remind everybody that Erika has, of course, an email address, but we can also, if you're interested to ask some questions to Erika, you can also write to me through your student representatives, so that if you need, we can organize a Teams call and directly ask questions.
You can give my own email.
Yeah, or I can also share. I can also share Erika's, sorry, I repeat it for people at home. I will also share, if you want, Erika's email. And now, well, I was saying, I like the fact that Erika talked about her dreams and her dream job, because she arrived later, but she was perfectly connected to what Rebecca, Matilde, and Samantha were talking about before. And she also talked about innovation. She basically, she did not, as she said, she did not invent a new job, but she's giving new life to the brand journalism. And well, you are also an entrepreneur, so you invent and evolve every day after day. And this means innovation. We talked about innovation previously, and we've seen, we've experienced innovations in the speakers that spoke today. And we will continue and see once more innovation with our next speaker. He came by train this morning to be here, so I'm really happy that he managed to come. I know that there have been some issues with the trains, as always. But I'm happy to welcome on stage Matteo Rizzi. Va bene, adesso arriva. Poi puoi usare questo qua che è acceso e questo che per andare avanti.
E per puntare? Cioè per...
Sì, puoi venire adesso, aspetta che stanno cambiando la presentazione. Just a second, it's, as they say in Italian, il bello della diretta. Che lui è quello prima.
Arrivo subito.
Aspetta un attimo. Sorry, we thought we gave for granted that Trenitalia would be late, so we had changed the order. But now, luckily, we managed to have him here before. So now we are ready to have Matteo Rizzi. Thank you very much. Acceso?
Okay, yeah. Hey everyone, how's it going? So, I'm really glad to be here, and maybe you can hear another point of view at this point. Thanks for the... thanks for you. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Matteo, I'm an engineer, but today I'm not here for that reason. Maybe you can tell from the first slide or follow my slide. I divided the presentation into 6 parts, one for each part of my career, from engineering to content creator. So now I'm full-time content creator, and I work daily with brands on social media, mainly on Instagram, but also on TikTok, in a tourism and accommodation agency. So let's try. Okay, so a little bit about me. I graduated from University in Bologna in 2021, after a baccalaureate, a master degree in industrial engineering, I got a job between 2020 and 2021, so the not perfect time. Started my career and things seemed to be going well. But there was always this nagging feeling in my back of my mind, a voice telling me that I was missing out on something I truly loved. And I'm speaking about travel and social media in general. I think it's always start from my passion in photography that it was born during since I was a child, since my parents, and from 2012, since 2012 till 2020, I shared all my photos and no, just photos for my vacancy or holiday with my family's friends and with a pure passion. No one cares about jobs and collaboration and nothing in particular. But in 2020, I started to publish also video on TikTok and also Instagram Reel, and it became not full-time job, but some brands started to reach me in order to create a collaboration for accommodation, hotels, and tourism organization. Going forward with a little more than 1 year later, after I started working in a company here as an engineer, where I had the internship, I found myself in a crossroad. So I had a stable job, a promising career ahead of me, but I couldn't shake off my love for travel and exploration. I realized that life is too short to not pursue what truly makes you happy. So I make a decision to leave my engineer job and dive into the world of travel and tourism. In 2021, I thought I couldn't stay for 8 hours a day in an office. And now I'm working as an engineer, as a freelancer. I'm used to work more than 80 hours per day in office. But now you might be wondering what exactly do I do in the tourism industry? So I'm a content creator and I work closely with the hotels and accommodation, and tourism association and organization as well. But what does that mean? As many of you, I guess, already know, working with hotels and accommodation as a content creator involves creating content that show these places all over the world. I use my Instagram as an Instagram and TikTok account, working with the hotels and accommodation as a content creator involves creating a community that are represented my passion, so outdoor livings, outdoor sports. I'm a sailor, I'm a skipper, so I lived in winter time in Dolomites doing sports related with skis, snowboarding, and so on. And in summer I lived in close to the sea in Ravenna, in Romagna. I'm also a sailor instructor, so I teach the kids how to sail in little boats. I don't know, you don't know Optimist? Everyone know? I think, yeah. And also I'm a skipper because I got the license as a skipper, so I used to bring people, participants for my family, friends in my boat, so I used to do these activities. This involves also brands because they wanted to reach my community, and we started to do sort of a collaboration. It's like, that involves they reach my community and I create content for them, not also for my Instagram account and TikTok account, but also for their social media. This was the first start. In this way, I started to collaborate with brands. I collaborate with various hotels to produce engaging videos, photos, and written content that highlight the unique experience of they offer. This includes everything from standing rooms tour to exploring the local attraction and even the sharing travel tips and recommendation with my audience. Here you can have some brands I worked with this year. Maybe you can recognize any of them. So here's my Ravenna Tourism. This is my hometown organization. But also Monte Rosa, Sudtirol, Parco Nazionale Gran Paradiso, this is the Alps and the Dolomites. Also Polska Tourism Organization, Alta Badia, and so on. Here I have an example of what I created when I used to create. Let's try. It works. Okay. So sorry for everyone who doesn't know. An example. In this case, I was in the Dolomites, in Trentino, with an accommodation and hotel very close to the paragliding, with a paragliding experience, but also mountain bike experience and trekking and so on. So let's restart in order to. In this case, I showed also not only the hotels and the room tour, but also the activities they wanted to promote, because I'm not focused on just on the hotels, but mainly in the activities and sports that involves the accommodation. That's it. I used to post daily, at least one reel on one TikTok per day. So this was an example. To return to, okay. Of course, this journey wasn't without its challenge. Leaving my stable engineering career to pursue my passion was a high risk. First of all, for the financial point of view, because self-dub were constant compassioning on my new path. But I persevered because I knew deep down that I was doing what I loved. One of the biggest lessons I learned in the industry is the importance of adaptability. The world of travel and tourism is constantly changing, especially with recent global events, and I had to quickly pivot my content and find new ways to connect. Not to mention the ever-changing platforms and the competition between other content creators and in the platforms. Now, if I have some extra minutes, I wanted to show how I work with the brands, because the easier way is to select. So the brands contact me via email or via DMs on Instagram, and I had to choose which one I wanted to collaborate. But nowadays I wanna inverse the process. So I write down a project, and I try to involve brands that are perfectly in line with my communication. Doing this, I think so the output is certainly more spontaneous, creating a win-win situation for both. From my point of view, I create content so with no brief, so or just a little brief with there's no mandatory things that I have to say in my content, and from the brand's point of view, they reach more spontaneous. They reach in a more spontaneous way my community that can fill the gap between a spontaneous content and a branded content. So I think is this the future, so I believe in it, and I continue to write down projects in order to continue my community project. I don't know what's the future will be from me, but now I think I'm very happy, so I will continue in this way. Thanks for the attention. If you have some question about my journey, about my, okay.
Did you follow some courses or something on the financial point of view that I think that is the main obstacles that you
Okay, from.
and on the other side also about the social media, like you came up that you knew. Yes.
It doesn't work.
Okay, so the courses about financial point of view, and on the other side about social media, how to communicate and so on. Like you didn't come up from the night and the day like this.
Okay, thanks for the question. For the financial point of view, I studied finance in university because I graduated in industrial engineer. That involves also, it's a mix between mechanical engineer and economics things. So I studied both of them. And the financial point of view, I quitted my job when some brands wanted me already, wanted my community. So I had a bit of problems, but as the normal freelance life, so I didn't understand very specific problems for the financial point of view. For the creating content, I daily studied, but I didn't follow a course or something else, so I studied from YouTube channels and so on. And now I teach how to create content to content creator wannabe or agency that wants to reach to create a community in a very spontaneous way, so not in a formal way. That's it.
I wanted to ask, what's needed for doing this job? I mean, a fixed number of followers to be contacted from an hotel or something like this?
Okay, thanks for the question. This is my Instagram account. Okay, perfetto. So let's try with the. Yeah. No. I try from this reel, and I. Okay, this is my Instagram account that count more than 7,000 followers. In 2021, when I started to collaborate with brands, maybe my, I think my Instagram account and also my TikTok account has not more than 20. I think the fact is not the number of not the number of followers, but a strong community is better than millions of followers not focused on what you have to say and not interested in your communication. In 2021, between 2020 and 2021, I started to collaborate with brands, not only with my Instagram account, but as a photographer and video maker, I started to create content for the account of the social media, so of the brands on social media, in order to create also an offer, a big offer, also for the financial point of view. Thank you. Hi.
I wanted to ask you how you moved your first steps in this world. How did you manage to create your first, I would say, little community? and then if you found it more difficult to like reach 10,000 followers at the beginning, and then all the other maybe they came more easy, or if it was more difficult, the contrary.
So I reached, thank you for the question. I reached 10K in 2020 or 2021 in a very spontaneous way. So I was focused on my photography stuff, so in a very nerd way, and it was not so easy to reach 10K as a first step, but not particularly it's difficult because I started my journey, my Instagram journey in 2012. So from 2012 till 2020, 10K is not very big journey. From 2020, when I started to create something bigger with more effort on my social media, I created a strategic pad. So I don't know. I started to create a strategic way to post the things on my Instagram in order to reach in a very clear way the brands I wanted to collaborate. Maybe they will not reply, or maybe they accept my collaboration, but for the numbers, from the 10K till 70K, it was more hard in order to create a very strong community, because you can reach and you can have very so your content can go viral and reach more people. But the strongest thing is to create a very strong community in order to talk with them every day and share with them not only the advertising content, but also your journey step by step, day by day, or what you want to say to them. So. Other questions?
Are you bored after a while about sharing constantly your things? For example,
I've been doing the Francigena, but I needed time for myself. I didn't want to be on the social media, and then I deleted Instagram, I deleted everything. I wanted to just be focused on myself and my journey without be constantly exposed to others people, because this could change myself, because it's like an exchange. So did it happen to you as it became a job that you lost a little bit of passion or attraction of what you're doing, or not?
No, completely not. I love what I do, and before it becomes a job, a full-time job, I used to do the same. So I used to create content and no one pay me for that content. Now I have the same passion, maybe more than before, and people and so brands pay me for these things. So it was just a pleasure. I'm not bored about this. Thank you.
Are your contents the same on Instagram and TikTok, or like the target is the same, or does it change?
This is a good, good answer, a good question. No, I mainly work with Instagram because I have an older community from 30 till 40, or from 20 till 40 years old. On TikTok, I have a youngest community, and I try to work on it in order to grow the age. I don't know. But from TikTok and Instagram, I used to create different contents in order to reach different community.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Others? No one? Not be shy? Okay, So, thanks for the attention, and if you have any questions or any, I don't know, if you want to say something to me, you can text me in a direct message or with a mail, and I'm glad to get it back. Thank you.
Paper version, don't have the online version yet. We'll create an online version. You are entitled to make some content about it. But this for you, of course. And if I'm not mistaken, you wanted some help with a picture? Take a picture?
Oh, yeah, maybe later.
Oh, even now, if you want.
Okay,
we can do it now. I mean, it might take some time for you to teach me how to use the camera. So
okay.
We can do it now. Okay, yeah, let's take a picture with a normal iPhone. And then let's use the professional one. Guys, resist. Some more time. Half an hour and we're done. And you'll find we asked the career service also to conclude the day today with some practical suggestions and interactive, mainly, especially interactive suggestions. So if you stay till the end, you'll see what's next with the career service. But first, we have another group of speakers in this case, and they're going to talk about something different. But in the meantime, I'll see if I'm a good photographer. Spent 5 years as the only male in class during high school. I hope I got some experience. But I used iPhones at the time. Verticale. Sì. Tu dammela solo che devo pigiare un tasto. Okay.
Allora di qua.
Era già il verticale sbagliato, mi piace questa cosa. Dove metto? Su, giù, sì, capo, sì.
Ok, così. Spingi qui.
Spingo qui, ok. Ok. Non vedo niente. Un applauso, per favore, all'incapacità.
Allora, se metti il dito qui davanti, sì, diventa... Quindi, no. anche più vicino.
Non mettere il dito lì davanti.
Qualcuno vuole provare?
You see the reason why we called him to be a content creator, not me, of course. Sì, lo capisco. Cancellate proprio Victor. Guys, tell me what other seminars, what other event takes you into the content creation? I mean, I think it's the first time. No, okay. I'm really glad I've helped. Thank you very much. Matteo. Voilà. Now let me call on stage an association, so something different. We haven't talked about associations, no-profit organizations so far. Actually, I must say they were rather easy to contact because we're part of the same association, but their agendas are, even worse. So I'm happy that they're here. And they're going to talk about as I said, about this association in hospitality. The name of the association is NEWH. It's an acronym. I won't say anything else, so I leave the stage and I welcome on stage Enrico Cleva, Marisa Corso, and Silvia Criscione. Volete le sedie? Volete le sedie? Vi metto le sedie.
Eccoci. Okay. Let me say this. Okay. Thank you. I'm in the worst position of dividing you from the lunch, of course. Okay. NEWH. So I'm president of the Milano chapter of an international association which was born to give voice of executive women in hospitality. So we have had women, we have many women here. However, I'm a male president. That happens, I will tell later why that happened. Just a few informations of about our association, very general information, a little bit of background of myself, and then Marisa and Silvia will give you just a little bit of their experience with the association. So the importance of networking. So our association, okay, I have, oh, sorry, okay, I have my screen here. We promote hospitality. So we are in an international association. The association was born in Los Angeles in 1984. As I was saying, it was to give voice to executive women in association that at the time were very few and in a very male structured work environment. And they created this association in America. It expanded first all through North America, so the United States and Canada. 20 years ago in the UK, and in 2020 or 2020, we opened the chapter in Milan and in Paris. What does the association? The main goal of the association is to have all the actors of the hospitality world, the hospitality community, in the same room to create business. So what does it mean? Many of the experience we do are filtered, okay, through the social media, through the school, to the work experience, but the work environment is really still linked by personal relationship. And NEWH is an instrument which puts you in the same room, in the same at an event, at a presentation, at a conference with other potential partner of your job, of your business. Some info, okay. 3 are the main pillars of the association. Networking first, second education. So within our activity is to present best practices in the industry, to present a project. I have to say we are very not focused, but the association was born very looking into interior design, so there are many designers in the association. However, what we want to expand, what we have been doing in the last many years, is also to expand to management, to tourism, so to embrace all aspects of the association. However, our main activity is design, and we present 2 or 3 times a year new hotel projects. Okay, who we are? Sorry, I go back. 3 pillars: networking, project presentation, and scholarship. The 3rd pillar is we do fundraising event to give funds to young students or any type of student in any time of their career to give funds to study specific in the hospitality business, hospitality, tourism, and everything related to hospitality. Our members are, I can read here, professional actively engaged in development, management, operation, architecture, communication, design, distribution, education, manufacturing, production, etc. All related to the hospitality business. And from all of these categories, you can understand how networking is important. Each one of these categories is very linked to all the others and has the interest of being in the same room with all the others. We support equity inclusion, of course, it's a very important topic. It was born as a women association. Inclusion is one of the pillars of the association. What we do, we sponsor scholarship, as I was saying, actively promoting the education of eligible students aspiring to enter the hospitality, food service, senior living, and related industries. We encourage cooperation, and this is part of the networking activity which does our association, and we disseminate information. We present projects in the hospitality world. We serve the industry. We want to have to be serving students. We are all quite seasoned professional, and we like to give our knowledge to young students. We now have in our association, our chapter in Milan is about 100 members, between 100 and 110. We have been going back and forth with about 20 students, which are growing in the chapter, and which we want really to engage as much as we can. We're volunteers, all volunteers, so we have our own careers. I'm the president, Marisa is the executive advisor of the association. Mainly, she's the co-president of the association with me and one of the founding members. Silvia is the marketing director and one of the founding members. As I was saying, we are in US, Canada, UK, France, and Italy. Members of NEWH are over 5,700 and divided in 28 chapters and regions worldwide. The association works with city or regions chapter. Our member, for example, we are the Milano chapter, but we collect members from Switzerland to Rome, so it's a regional, actually a regional chapter. The chapter was founded in 2020, around 100 members. We participate to interesting events related to hospitality, like Guest Lab, Hospitality Day. We have desks at the main design and hospitality trade shows where we promote our activity and we look for members. As I was saying, we normally present a couple, 2-3 projects a year. Last year we presented the Grand Hotel Victoria in Menaggio, a brand new project. This year we just presented in May NH Hotel, the one maybe some of you have seen it, which the main lobby is a church. It's a former church. It's a beautiful project close to the old fairground here in Milan. And in July, we had one of our most frequented events with our sister association, IP, Interior Designers Association, at the Radisson Hotel in Santa Sofia, in Via Santa Sofia, which is one of the brand new hotels. In 2019, we presented the beautiful hotel made by Marco Piva in the former touring club headquarters in Corso Italia. That was a fantastic project to present. We also have every year for 3 of our, okay, let me go here. Every year we give it's not really an award, it's a recognition to 3 top interior design firms engaged with the association. We had some of the most important architects in Italy in the hospitality business. Marco Piva, Alberto Apostoli, Chiara Caberlon, di Caberlon Caroppi, Goring Strayaga Studio, Ceccaroli di 73. So those are Studio Noah, which I think the speaker would know. They do incredible projects out in the Alps near Bolzano. You should go on the internet to take a look of that. NOA, NOA, it's a fantastic small boutique office in Bolzano, headquartered in Bolzano. Going back one slide, the governing board of the association in Milan is made by an executive committee, secretary, president, executive advisors. There are directors, each one working on a certain area of the association, and committee chairs which are focused on specific tasks for the association. We are always looking to people interested in participating, in being a chair, in being with the association. How am I with the time? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Some events. So these are a couple of slides. So I have another 2-3 minutes, and then Marisa and Silvia can give a little of their experience. So those are slides. We use a lot of social media, which Silvia keeps track of. Mostly we work on LinkedIn, as we are a professional association. So LinkedIn is the instrument in Europe we use the most. We also use Facebook. A little bit less. It's very used in the US together with LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is really the social media mostly used by professionals here in Europe. Those are a couple of slides of our last event at the Radisson Collection in Santa Sofia. We had about 100 people coming. The second one is NEWH we presented in July, where also we awarded Marisa a special gift, a special award for the association, and we got the president and the CEO from the US opposite to give the award to Marisa. We are having an important reception on this Friday as a short turnaround. The association was born because of our links with Fiera Milano. So Fiera Milano, I'm personally representing Fiera Milano, and this is a little bit of my career. I'm an architect by training, so I'm an architect. I have been working as an architect for the first 15 years of my working career. Then I went to Canada. I lived 2 years in Canada, and I started working in connecting the design world with the trade shows, which led to know NEWH Canada and NEWH US, which asked us to open the chapter here in Italy. So this is a little bit of the background of the story. And with Marisa, Silvia, and some other friends' connections, we were able to build this association. So the link of NEWH with Milan, it's very strongly connected with the show which is happening from this Friday at Fiera Milano. It's the second biggest show in Milan after Salone del Mobile, so it's a very relevant one for the hospitality world. I strongly recommend any of you to go there to take a look, as it's an incredibly interesting trade show. And we are partnered, as you see in the second slide, we are partnered with events. So this is, for example, an event which Marisa organizes related to the Olympics, the 2026 Olympics, with events in Milan, in Cortina, in Sondrio, in Venice. So these Olympics will be held around northern Italy, and Marisa is organizing events to present new projects, to present the opportunity, and to talk about what's going to happen in Northern Italy. Hospitality Day, it was, today is 11, yesterday there was the Hospitality Day in Rimini. Teamwork Hospitality is one of our members and one of the great partners of the association. As you can see on the right, we have a desk at every one of their conferences and events. And okay, this is almost everything about the association. Shortly going back to my personal experience, okay, I'm the president, so I'm the one kind of coordinating all the activities which happens in the association, but also I'm in the connection with the US. So the head of the association, the decision making structures of the association are in the US. And they gave me the opportunity of being part of the US board, which is a great honor, of course, but can give us, through me, I can give all the knowledge of these kind of associations, which are really, really diffused in the US, in North America, and take it here and give all the knowledge I have from there to our board. So we are keeping a little bit of our Italian background in something which is very Anglo-Saxon. It's very profoundly eradicated in the American culture, in the American spirit. So it's something which we didn't have, as our trade association are mostly focused on verticals. So the design, the management, tourism, while NEWH, one of the most successful things of NEWH is it's a horizontal association which keeps together all the different aspects, all the different worlds of hospitality. In my opinion, when we presented the association, we grew immediately to over 100 members, which was an incredible success, the greatest success of any NEWH chapters in the world in the history. And that's not because we are Marisa is very good, but not because of us, but because there was a need in Italy, in our community, to have an association keeping together all the aspects of hospitality. That's it, I think. Marisa will give you her vision of the association, and we will be here for any question if we have time later. Thank you.
Thank you, Enrico. Good morning to everybody. So I think that Enrico explained so well the association that I have very few words to say. Maybe the only thing I would say is that the association started in 2020 because we like challenges. And in fact, it was in plain pandemic. So for a company, for association that want to have people networking, that want people to meet, it was not very easy. So we started with a webinar, we started meeting online because there was not possibility of meeting each other. But when we could do that, the first meeting was a really great success because everybody want to enter the association. In fact, our association has been growing very, very well, and we have been awarded for that because we are the first chapter that reached more than 100 people just in 1 year, 2 years. So that was very important for us. And for us, that we are women, so we are the really focus of this association, even though now we have a lot of loved men and also the president, so we think that working together is the best things. Another point is that being in Milan, we are also working together with the other chapter in Europe. So we participate in events in France, in Paris, and also in London, because we want to make a sort of big chapter, European one. So people have the opportunity of meeting people here in Milan, but also in Paris and in London. So that is very important because you can exchange your experience, because normally you are focused on in your country, but sometimes it's not the only way to see things. So in tourism, in the development of this, we need to have the opinion of other people, the experience of other people. And I think that be part of this association, we are all volunteer. We work hard normally because all of us have our own jobs, our career. And working on this, I normally do the job during night, very late in the evening. And, but I think that the satisfaction you have is to create a relation and to meet people, because this is, for my way of living, the best way. I don't believe that people can do a lot by themselves. I believe that if you want to go very far away in your life, you have to work with the others. So I think that for students, is a good opportunity to join this association, because you can also meet people that can also be an opportunity for your job in the future. So I have nothing else to say. Thank you.
Silvia, do you want to? Okay.
Good morning, everyone. How is going? After such a long morning with many interventions today, it's difficult to balance the silence with communication, I think. But to do networking, it's important to be also we have the ability to be a good listener, in order to be to exercise your authenticity in communication with others. This is my experience. I'm the marketing director of NAWH. I have the privilege to be in this network. It's fantastic people going together with events, with very exchanges that enrich ourselves and our professional itinerary. So that, are you still convinced that the silence is risky or not? This is the theme of today. I think that the balance between silence and communication is important also in networking, because the human factor is the focal point in the relationship with other, also from the point of view of professional partners. And so I would like to invite you to be with us, because the membership of NAWH is free for students, and so that it's important for you to join us and to be part of this network, to exchange your experience. And from our part, we are very happy to be a catalyst for a committee of students which may be acting and do experience directly with the sector of hospitality, and so that we hope you will be with us in the near future. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Silvia. Victor, I don't know if we want to some questions.
I just want to give you some certificates.
Oh, thank you.
I want to give a certificate to Silvia.
Thank you so much.
One to Marisa.
Thank you so much.
And one to the president, Mr. Kreva.
Wanted, dead or alive.
Can we take a picture? One simple thing, while we invite the last, thank you very much. Okay. Well, while Marisa, okay. While we invite the last speaker of the day, and we come back to Yun for this, we come back to the career service, we just want to say, I just want to remind you three things. The first one is that becoming a member of NAWH for students is completely free for at least the years in which you are at university. And then that they have a career network as well, so you can see what other members in the association do. And third, but most important, they brought merch. So take one, just in case. Yes. Sorry.
Francesco, vieni su, almeno fai la picture, no?
Allora glielo diamo anche a lui che è arrivato in fondissimo. Prof.
Grazie, grazie.
Eccoci.
No, ho detto di no.
No, scusate, ma non ce la faccio adesso. Prof, dopo, adesso perché... Back to Yulm for a very fast, I promise, very fast, brief introduction on how to use LinkedIn properly. Mattia.
Now I had something planned. No? I'll use this. Okay. I did have something planned, which is going to be interactive, but we don't have a lot of time. So where do I find the slides? Let me see. Sorry. Okay, thanks. Sorry. Right, first of all, thank you. My name is Mattia Rappa. I am one of your career advisors in the university, so I'm here from the university's Career Service Department. Thank you, first of all, to Victor for having organized this event. I think it's very, very important to kind of meet the professional actors, in general, like what the idea of connecting university with the professional sector. Now, I know you've been sitting down for a while, and I know you probably are very tired by now, so I'm going to try and make this as brief and as painless as possible, if this collaborates. No, these are not my slides. One sec.
I
don't know. I shall start speaking. So what I'll do is, I actually wanted, now that we're waiting for this a second, I'll give you an excuse to have your phones out. Take out your phones, or PC, whatever you have. Look at your LinkedIn profile. Second question, do you have a LinkedIn profile? That is the second question. We're talking about the risk of silence, right? The risk of silence is everywhere. Companies have the risk of silence. You know, that's the first place people are going to be looking for you sometimes. They don't have access to your phone, access to your emails. Your digital presence, on LinkedIn especially, obviously I'm speaking from a career service point of view, so LinkedIn is going to be my main point of view. But you do also have Instagram, TikTok. I won't be talking about those just because, you know, the one I focus on is LinkedIn. So if you look at your profile right now, as it is, without changing or without looking at anything, do you think it's effective? Ask yourself these questions. Do you think a recruiter would actually look at your profile and think, I called it extreme makeover, but it's fine. Do you think they want to contact you because of it? Is your CV enough? Okay, that's good. This is positive. But I actually want to see a show of hands. Like, right now, your perception of your LinkedIn profile, do you think it works in any way? I won't be doing all of this, don't worry. You'll get the slides in a second moment, just because it's useful to have. So these are the three steps. And the second step is, do you even have a LinkedIn profile? So that was an important question, because a lot of people don't. What do you see? Do you think it's effective? If so, I'm asking you these questions now. With a show of hand, how many of you actually think you're at that stage where your LinkedIn profile represents and highlights your skills and experience? Be honest. It's not a trick question. If you do think it is, just raise your hand. Okay, we had someone say before that you were sure, but maybe not. So it becomes important to think about the idea of self-branding, right? Especially digital self-branding. You are a brand, right? Initially, all of you are a brand of your own brand. It's personal branding, especially at the digital level. I had planned a whole checklist. Jimmy Kimmel teaches us that LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Tinder are very different things. So the idea of having a personal image of yourself, like an image online of yourself, is very important. How many of you on your LinkedIn profile, especially people who've graduated from their bachelor degree, have basically their graduation photo as their LinkedIn profile? You'd be surprised by them. You don't have to say it, it's fine. But you'd be surprised the amount of people who have, the little photo with the thing on their head. No, you need something specific for LinkedIn. It's not a passport photo. It's not something that you put on your Instagram. I've created a little checklist. You will get these slides afterwards if you've participated today. So you can literally just take a checklist of what it looks like. So I won't dig too much into this. summarizing your life. Now, the way the slides are structured, there will be instructions on how you can actually, like, where to find the information on your LinkedIn profile, how you can change things, where to edit, and where to look for stuff. I won't go into deep conversations about that. But a lot of the things that I miss often on LinkedIn profiles is a summary. So if I'm a recruiter, I'm landing on your LinkedIn page, and I'm thinking, okay, who are you? Like, give me a bit of context. Don't just leave the university you're attending or the job you did back in 2017 when you were working as a waiter. It's fine, but you need more context. You're moving into the professional sector. A lot of you maybe surely are in second year of their degree or in the third year of their bachelor degree. You need to start thinking about this. It's never too early in a way, but if you are in your final years, it's definitely the right time to start thinking about this. So I did not press that. This thing doesn't like me. Why is it going forward? Sorry. Okay. Now, if you only just have this, that's fine. It's better than 80% of what students have. But it's not a CV. It's not a cover letter. So you can actually be a little bit more expansive. You can be a little bit more friendly. People want to know who you are. So go for a little bit more information, a bit more context. I'm not going to sit here and read it through, but the idea is tell them what you're doing. Use keywords. Use specific information about what you're studying, about what you're looking forward to, and give them a little bit of an idea of what you do in your free time as well. Like if I like sustainable tourism trends, tell me. I want to know if I'm a company and I'm doing sustainable tourism, for example. Another checklist. You can look at this con calma, as we say here in Italy, okay? So that's fine. It's just an idea of how you can structure your summary, okay? Most of the stuff I forgot to put in, but I'll send the updated version, is stuff that I got from LinkedIn like guidelines anyway, so I'm not here standing telling you my own experience. But editing your profile, so this is the main, once you go to the add profile section, literally it will explain to you there are 3 sections on your LinkedIn profile: core, recommended, additional. Same thing in Italian. That's where you get most of the editing from. Education and training. I'm not going to go into all of this. The only things that I do want to mention, just putting that you're studying hospitality or tourism at Ulm is not enough. Use all the sections that you have. How many profiles have I seen? As part of our services, we do a LinkedIn like revision, optimization as well. So a lot of students come to me like, I want to get this better, And we sit there and there's lots of things missing. Add as many. It just changes on its own. There we go. Add as many keywords as you can. Include the information. Put the courses that you're doing. If you're interested in marketing for hospitality, put in that you're studying marketing for tourism and cultural events, or cultural events and heritage, if that's something that you're interested in. Make it look like, sit back and look at your profile and be like, if I'm selecting someone, if I was a recruiter, right, would I actually know what this person likes in hospitality? Hospitality is huge. Tourism is huge. What exactly are you interested in? It can be different things. It doesn't have to be like one specific thing. But if you know that you have a specific thing, make it that specific thing. Make sure that you always include things that are relevant to your experience. I'm more than halfway through, don't worry. Professional experience, same thing. Pro tip, make sure you include things that actually have relevance with your academic or professional future, if you have any. That's fine. If you don't, we'll look at another section if you don't. Putting that you've been babysitting, tutoring for languages, going into like waitressing, and it depends, because if you're interested in guest services, that's perfectly fine to go into like waitressing and hospitality in that sense, or F&B experience. But otherwise, try to move away from things that are not entirely relevant to your current situation. It's true that everything is experience, everything helps you, and unless you can spin it properly, unless you can write about it properly in your profile, the question is, do I need this or not? Try not to put everything in as you can. But if you do write stuff, make it sure it's detailed. What responsibilities, what activities did you do during your internship, your job experience? So make sure you're telling who is reading your profile exactly the kind of volumes, the kind of projects. Put numbers if you can. The best thing, and something that is very used in the Anglo-Saxon and the American system, is using metrics. Quantify the amount of events you organized. Quantify the number of people you contacted, the number of social media posts and things you did during your internship, because this helps recruiters, HRs all over the world understand exactly what kind of experience you have. I manage social media channels is not enough. put which ones. Explain that you used LinkedIn. Explain you used Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You know, a lot of recruiters nowadays, for a lot of companies, especially even in the hospitality sector, they're looking for people who have experience in TikTok. Great, nobody really, because it's new. That's how you get the new targets, as we mentioned before. So, and then this function, is never used, never ever used. Skills, add skills that are related to that specific experience that you've done. So if you had an experience as, for example, I'm just going to use a simple example, but like a front office intern, or I know, I'm going to be quicker. Add in the skills that you want. You know? So I did public speaking, I did client management, interpersonal skills, because these skills are then used by recruiters who then search for people with those skills. So just try to make it as complete as possible. I just see you like typing away. You're probably, I don't know if you're texting someone externally or you're actually looking at this, but this is good. Other sections, I'm not going to stop too much on this. There are various different sections in your profile: honors and awards, volunteering, licenses and certifications, languages. Now these 4, together with education and professional experience, have to be in your profile. Do you have a scholarship? Did you win any academic or extracurricular contests? Put it in. Did you do any volunteering? As we mentioned before, volunteering is a huge part of that can help you. Sometimes it's the bridge, the necessary bridge between volunteering and the professional sector. Like, it helps you a lot of times into actually entering the professional world. Licenses, did you do that course? You know, did you take that certified course in Photoshop, or did you do the key management course in analytics for the hospitality sector? Put it in your profile. Because it's everything, in that case, it makes sense, right? Mention all the languages that you're studying or that you study. Some people don't even put their languages in their profile. That's ridiculous. So this is where you can find them. I'm not going to look into these slides. Just click on these different sections to then modify the various different sections on your profile. Last bit, and this is if you want to take away one thing from this, mention projects. There is a section in the recommended section, it's called Add Projects. Now, at least for hospitality, I'm sure, but maybe tourism as well, like in bachelors, you do a lot of projects, you do a lot of group projects. Put them in your profile. Because especially if you don't have experience, direct experience in a specific, you're interested in destination management, fantastic. I don't have any experience in destination management, but I did a project in marketing for tourism, or I did a project for destination management, the course. Fantastic, put it in. Again, shows you how to put it in. You can put in the final version in PDF or Google Drive. That's fine, that's absolutely great. And again, put skills. What did you learn from it? Marketing plan, benchmarking activities, social media listening. It shows recruiters the skills, the technical skills that you've learned from that theoretical experience. So again, trying to bridge as much as possible the gap between academia and professional. Last thing, your profile is organic. What I mean by organic is that it grows and evolves with you. So don't leave something that you haven't touched for the past 3 years, and then the next 3 years be like, oh, I didn't change this. It needs to grow with you. So the more experience you get, the more academic experience you get, even just academic, change it as you go along. So yeah, to conclude, yeah, this is the importance of the risk of silence, and the silence is also digital. So make sure you have a LinkedIn profile, and a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mattia, for talking like Eminem. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry we were late. My fault.
Okay.
We prepared one for you as well.
Fantastic.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mattia, just
Sorry,
last one.
look at the camera. Thank you.
Grazie a te.
Thank you. Okay. One last thing. No, mind.
Okay.
I wanted to put our email address, but you'll get the
Okay,
slides.
well, yeah, you'll get the interesting, okay, I will get the slides, I will share the slides with you, and you will probably get the slides. It's done. You're free. You can have lunch. I thank you very much for being so patient. I thank you very much for being here today. As I said before, I really, really appreciate this. Thank you very, very much. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope they will help in the future. Ciao. Grazie.